The new BMW iX M60 is their top sports model for the new big electric BMW SUV. We'll take a closer look right here with Thomas and Autogefuel. Let's go. You can also get a normal sport package here for the iX, and this is also equipped here with the M60. You have a dark look here in this part, huge double kidney, this is all standard for the iX, and option you can also get these Titan bronze accentuations inside the grille, and headlamps, LED standard, optional the BMW laser lights, that's also the same for the M60 model here. By the way, they do not differentiate anymore between M Performance and true M models. This is the M model, and that's it. This will be different than here for the all-electric vehicles. Not possible to open the hood. The only thing you can open is here the fill-in for the wiper fluid. Yeah, also a performance car needs wiper fluid. 4.95 meters or 195 inches in the length, and it would usually come with 21-inch wheels. These are the optional 22-inch wheels, and also with an M badge. Then you have a black M badge here at the side, and these Titan bronze accentuations here also at the side mirrors. In the side profile, I think the car works very well. It doesn't look too high actually, but the interesting thing is it's as fat as an X6, the length of an X5, and the wheels of the X7 is always a nice thing to say, definitely. Here it's kind of like split in design element right here with the big iX logo. And this one here, the M60 model, always comes with air suspension, front and rear, but it's set on a stiffer tone. And power-wise, already one figure for you, 619 horsepower or 1,100 Newton meters is the power peak. This will speed up this car in 3.9 seconds to 1 kilometers or 62 miles. So this model here is 0.7 seconds faster in the acceleration than the xDrive 50. 0.2 seconds from that goes via the launch control. You might wonder, electric vehicles and launch control? Yes, it somehow makes sense. You can also precondition the electric motors for that. It has some kind of effect, this 0.2 seconds. And there will even be kind of like a shaking function. So the electric parts will induce a shaking effect that you, when you get off, feel a physical hardware-induced shaking when using the launch control. Interesting idea. We will find out when we drive this vehicle. What's that thing in the background here all the time? Yeah, it's measuring the wind, of course, because this one is actually a helipad. So usually helicopters land here, but in this case here, a nice stage for the M60 of the iX. And of course also all the small stones here, they would be removed when the next helicopter is landing. A strong styling here also for the rear, horizontally integrated tail lamps, iX logo, and also the M60 logo are also in this dark and bronze finish, pretty cool. Lower end with the diffuser style. It's all about wind efficiency, this vehicle as well. Therefore, we also have this recess in the top part right there. The color for today, by the way, is Storm Bay Metallic. It has a kind of matte nuance, but it's not a matte color, depending really on where the light and how the light is shining in. And another special feature of the M60 is that the top speed is enhanced to 250 kilometers an hour or 155 miles an hour, while the xDrive 50 would be limited at 200 kilometers or 125 miles an hour. The M60 will get the very same battery, just like the xDrive 50, so 105 kilowatt hours net. And we had a driving review already of the xDrive 50, and we had some consumption about 19 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, so some like 29 kilowatt hours and 100 miles means this one would also be somewhere in 550 kilometers of range or 310 miles of range if you keep it rather steady. Of course, here with a different hardware, with the little bit stronger electric motor, a little bit less range than the comparable model, which is a little bit less powerful, but it won't have such a big effect. I can already expect that. Recharging, 11 kilowatt AC or 195 kilowatt DC, supposed to bring you from 10 to 80% in 30 minutes when you have the full charging power at the station. This is the car key of the iX, and in this case the M60 also gets the M colors at the car key. Door closing sound is frameless door, and yeah, it's kind of weird that the door closing sound indeed. Then inside of the doors, it really depends on the trim level what you get there, as for colors and materials, but with a very refined interior styling. Here these crystalline, cool looking dials for the seats, they are an option gladly. I mean, they look cool, definitely. However, they are really catching the glares and they can blind you while driving. So I would recommend sticking with the base version. And this looks also definitely okay. And the steering wheel with the flat bottom, that's already sporty, but also in the base version of the iX. As for the seats, you can get a fabric microfiber mix or also animal-free sensor tech. Then in Oyster, so the rather bright color or in black or in brown. And these here are the animal skin seats. You can see it here in the more symmetric shape in black or red. But the Sensatec seats, of course, do a great job and also offer ventilation. You can also see them right here, how they would look like. Seating position, comfortable and upright, open space atmosphere. But what's different here for the M60 model? Well, the thing is, they worked on the sound design. So this cooperation with Hans Zimmer. And you already have that in normal iX, but then for the M60, there will be a special sound design. Yeah, probably in a more sporty way, more maybe sonorous way of sound and so on. Looking forward to that when we drive the vehicle. Sporty atmosphere here. This widescreen curved display, 14.9 inch right, 12.3 inch on the left, but it looks like one unit. No manual climate dials, you have to do it here in the screen. That's to me a drawback. And you know, everything very nice from the styling. Glove box right here. The steering wheel has still some manual dials, for example, right side here to choose the contents on the left screen, and here on the left side also for the cruise control. In the digital instruments, you can have the map in the inside part or some assistance system information and so on. You can switch that through. You can also change the whole layout of that. And once again, we expect special sound design in here for the M60 model. And the screen itself, this is here the very complicated climate menu. I mean, who thought about that? Here you can also activate the seat cooling here, for example. Then the home screen is split kind of in these two. So either you have this home screen or then a second home screen. And this looks like that. So yeah, but both, I think they lost kind of the path for the overview. The system is good as for the CPU processing power. Yeah, this was kind of like double in language. So here you can see very fast as for the map movement and so on. But I think it was easier before. At least you have kept this menu from the OS 7, yeah, to make it somewhat usable. Lower part, you have this matte wood. This is really cool actually, but then you have this crystalline lever here, which can also get some reflections. In the base model, this is again an option. It would be then the black here as the cover, and then you know, more basic turning and pressing up, which is actually delivering you a better user interface, I think. This is the shifting lever then, by the way, here back for the drive mode, reverse, and this then for the parking mode, and the whole middle console here is kind of floating. So then underneath you get an inductive charging pad and cup holders. Here, by the way, also a cooled inductive charging pad that the smartphone doesn't overheat like it used to be at BMW. And on top of it, you can also put another smartphone. Oh, by the way, and also at the inside of the doors. So a lot of spaces to put your smartphone. So much fun to move around here in the rear bench because there's no middle tunnel. A lot of space, a lot of legroom. This is really very cool. You feel so much at home here in that rear area. So this is where they put the emphasis also on. Also here with this electrochromatic roof. This is pretty fancy. You can change if you rather want it a little bit shaded or a little bit more open. We now have seen here on our Autogefuel channel the electric performance models by Mercedes and now by BMW. And one thing comes, you know, really directly to our mind: the differentiation between the performance models and the normal models is not as big as it used to be from the internal combustion engine models. Well, reason number one is the electric vehicles always have the instant torque. So the normal models are already quite sporty. They have the center of gravity quite low because the battery pack is placed in the lower area of the vehicle. So they're already kind of performance vehicles in the base versions, from driving agility and also from the performance. So the only thing they can do here are some visual changes, maybe then here software, sound design and so on, and of course even more boost actually from the electric drivetrains. So partly it's just software, but here what I told you earlier, they also did some hardware changes to put a more, you know, powerful electric motor in the rear. But definitely the normal models of the electric vehicles are more alike, you know, when you compare their performance models. What do you think about this development? Join me in the discussions in our comments. Now tune into the BMW iX driving review we already have with the xDrive 50, or also compare the Tesla Model X.